Hey Fortnite fans, in this video I'm going to show you a technique to aim sniper rifles to hit headshots at virtually any range. What this video won't cover is how to practice or leading the target or any other kinds of advanced techniques like that, because I think if you get the basic technique down, those things will be much easier to learn. Now if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll have a bunch of in-game clips to show you that if you use this technique correctly, you'll be able to hit headshots in-game consistently. If you find this technique helpful and you want to use this map that I'm using to practice sniping, go ahead and share the video and subscribe, and if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will share the map code with you. Alright, so how does this work? Most of the sniper rifles in Fortnite have the same scope in picture, right? So we have the cross, and then below the center there's a small tick, a big tick, small tick, big tick, etc. And we're going to use this to compensate for our bullet drop with a few simple rules. And this will work at virtually any range, but each of these rules kind of apply to a specific set of ranges, but they kind of overlap, so it's okay. Right. So how does this work? If I were to ping my enemy, I can see that, you know, this target dummy is at 53 meters, up here 152 meters, all these different ranges. It doesn't really matter, but the first rule is if it's within, say, 200 meters or so, yeah, it's within 200 meters or so, if you put that first tick on your target's mouth, you'll hit a headshot. And there's a reason for this. That has to do with like the curvature of the bullet drop, but suffice it to say, it doesn't really matter. If you just practice this and put that first tick on your target's mouth always, you'll hit most of your headshots, because most of the targets you'll find are within 200 meters. So, doesn't matter how far the target is within 200 meters, if you put that first tick on the mouth, you get a headshot. Now obviously you need to get that center line aligned with their head, but supposing you do that, pretty easy. Right. Okay, so if you just practice that, you'll get headshots on stationary targets pretty easily. But you know, a lot of the targets that you want are outside of 200 meters, right? Like this one over here, 243 meters. That's not going to work. If I shoot at this and aim at the mouth with that first tick, it's going to go too low. Hit them right in the chest. So the second rule is the big tick after the first tick. So there's a crosshair, there's a small tick, and then there's a big tick. The big tick never drops below their waist, and the waist is the narrowest part of these sentries, right? So if you look at a sentry, the narrowest part of the sentry is the waist, right there. That's the waist. Okay. So the narrowest part of your opponent is the waist. The big tick should never drop below that point, right? And you can see here, these rules overlap, right? If I have my first small tick on the crosshair, or on their mouth, the big tick is above their waist, right? Once I get out into like these further ranges, this one is like 220 meters. Well, if I put the small tick on their mouth, you can see the big tick is, below the waist, right? So I'm gonna want to move up. The small tick will move up above their head, of course, but the big tick, you can remain at the waist, and you'll hit that headshot. And this will work all the way out to probably 250 meters. Right? And that's going to get you 99% of your snipes in this game. 250 meters, you're probably going to be golden if you can get to that. Right? I mean, these sentries don't even spawn in after 150 meters, so if you're running around the map, that's pretty far. Okay. In the case where you see something way in the distance, you're playing Team Rumble or something, and you see something way in the distance, the last rule is the next smallest tick. So there's the small tick, the big tick, and then the next small tick should never drop below the middle of their shins. Right? So there's the shin right there, and you can see that third tick should never drop below their shins. And you can see here, if I target this guy, that's 324 meters. If I put that right on their shins, I'm gonna hit a headshot. Now these three rules, they overlap. So if you follow the first rule, never drop the small tick below their mouth, and you follow the second rule, never drop the big tick below their waist, and you follow the last rule, never drop the second small tick below their shins, you'll always be putting that bullet at their head. Doesn't matter what range, you'll always hit their head. Right. And that's how you hit a headshot. There's no math required. Just follow those rules. You can hit stationary targets.
Had a couple. Hold on, let me pop them. Or can you crawl out of the storm?
No, I'm dead. I'm dead. But you can get my
Oh yeah, I see him. Oh wait, nope. Oh, okay.
I don't know. I didn't like it.
He's at the cabin. Got him!
that's what 60.